Greetings and salutations, everyone. Glenn Kellaway coming to you from the basement. Here to talk about my thoughts on the Revolver remix. I am fully dressed, so my apologies to anyone who got, ill over that last video or had nightmares. I promise it won't happen again. I'll keep my clothes on. The remix. So I guess again I'm like the 10,000th person who's talked about this, but if you're interested in my thoughts anyway, I appreciate you watching and listening. First thing I want to say with any of these remixes is I don't like to come at it from the viewpoint that it's better or worse. I like to just think it's different and a different listening experience. It makes it a more positive experience for me as a listener to look at it that way. I'm not sitting there intently going, oh, well, that sounds better, and oh, that's not as good as the original. I mean, we've been listening to Revolver since 1966. It's an amazing album, and for those of us who have been Beatles fans however, we're all familiar with how it sounds, and I don't think anybody had any complaints. So, but I do love the remix. There's some things, we'll talk about it. I'll go through it song by song and whatever. So let me tell you how I approached all this. First thing I did is I bought the CD, 5 CD set, and just a single copy of the vinyl, and then the 5 CD box. So what I did first is play the vinyl. Then I played the CD EP of Rain and Paperback Rider. From there I went through all the outtakes. From there I played the CD of the remix, and I played, rather than playing the CD mono mix that came with it, I decided to pull out my mono vinyl from the mono box set, the all analog, and play that. And then played the outtakes again, listened to the vinyl again, the remix, and so I think I've given it a fair shot. First thing, I'm not a fan of it when someone says this one's better or that one's better. Like I said, there's little parts of the remix that really just blow me away, and there's obviously parts in the original mix that I think are excellent and shouldn't be touched. Someone made a great comment on my last video. They said this is kind of like the family of Da Vinci getting together and going, well, the Mona Lisa, it's kind of boring now, it's kind of flat, we've got some brighter colors now, so we can fix it up. The one difference is the Mona Lisa, if you did that, wouldn't be around for us to enjoy anymore the way it was and the way it was intended, whereas Revolver, you can still listen to the original mix and you have this other experience to go along with it, unless, now this could be a topic for another day, is the plan to slowly eliminate the original mixes and just anybody who wants to buy Revolver going forward will have to buy the new remixes, or any of Pepper or White Album or Let It Be or any of them? That would be my fear. You need to be able to, Beatles, please, you need to provide both options. So let's get started here. First of all, Taxman. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody else has the CD and the vinyl, but I love the bass in Taxman. I've always loved that. I taught myself how to play bass a few years ago, and one of the songs I'd love to play and practice with was Taxman. I just love that. And in the remix, it really stands out. It's fantastic. I love that, and I don't know if that's just because I'm gravitated towards the bass sound, but now that was on the vinyl. When I listen to the CD, although the bass, it's more bass heavy for sure, but the whole CD is brighter, I think, for some reason. And it's not nearly as bassy as the vinyl. Somebody else let me know if it's just playing tricks with me, but that's the way I feel. Um, I think it's kind of a wash. A Taxman, I mean, the original mix is fantastic, and I don't think they did anything to disrespect. I don't think they did anything to disrespect any of what the Beatles intended, or the engineers, or anything on when this album was originally recorded and released. Um, so Taxman, like I said, I'm not going to rate them one's better than the other. I just think they're different, and I think Taxman, it's the bass that really stands out to me. Thumbs up on the remix. Eleanor Rigby, the best remix of the whole package as far as I'm concerned. Uh, I'm listening, and Paul's voice is right in the middle of the sound stage, and the strings, which are all separated so beautifully, you can hear a cello and a violin, and whether it's a bass fiddle in that in the right channel there. Oh my God, it sounds just breathtakingly beautiful. It sounds like you're in the studio listening to classical musicians playing this, and it absolutely the best standout track on the album as far as I'm concerned. So Paul's vocals start off center, the stringed instruments kind of bouncing around, and then when the harmony vocals come in on the chorus, so all the lovely people, um, the sound of the voices stretch out over the whole soundstage. It's just absolutely incredible. It blew me away. I'm only sleeping. It's a wash to me. I didn't see anything out there that stood out to me. The vocals on all these tracks are a little more up front, some more than others. Um, I didn't really see anything, and I'm only sleeping. Maybe again the bass right in that part when Paul goes dun 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 dun, keeping alive. That it's a bit more up front. Love You Too is absolutely fantastic. George's voice sounds so perfect in it. They really brought his voice up front. The sitar sounds good. It's just they did a fine job on that. Here, There, and Everywhere, I don't really see that much. It's pretty subtle as far as I'm concerned. Yellow Submarine, it's the vocals, I think, and the sound effects and that it sound a bit punchier, and the vocals sound great. You can hear all the different voices in the harmonies. Really, really nice job on Yellow Submarine. Um, She Said, the guitars might be a bit punchier. Nothing, I don't think, to get excited about one way or the other. Good Day Sunshine, same. I don't, again, uh, I didn't see anything crazy about it. Andrew Bird Can Sing. Again, John's vocals probably, and the guitars sound great. George's guitar sounds great in that song. For No One, Paul's vocals sound wonderful in that. They brought them up front. The piano sounds great. It's such a gorgeous song. It's my favorite McCartney Beatles song, actually. Dr. Robert sounds fantastic. John's voice just kills in this. They brought it up front. Um, Love Dr. Roberts' track. I Want to Tell You when the guitar, that's really clean and beautiful. Um, I got to get you into my life. The brass sounds really nice and punchy. Um, Good job. I guess the main comment I want to make is they did not. I don't think they disrespected what the Beatles did originally, or the engineers, like I said before. I think that's a tribute to what they did here. They were true to the album. Tomorrow Never Knows. Now, I heard somebody say that they thought John's vocals were cleaned up on this, and it didn't sound like he was the Dalai Lama singing from the top of a hill or a mountain, or however he described it, how he wanted his vocals to sound. I didn't notice it that much of a difference. Tomorrow Never Knows, again, I didn't think it was that much different. The Revolver EP, Paperback Rider and Rain, both sound fantastic. Really, really brighten them up. I think they did a great job on Paperback Rider and Rain. Sound great. As for the outtakes, the Tomorrow Never Knows outtakes, didn't excite me that much. Got to Get You Into My Life was fantastic to listen to. How that song started off, just with the guitar and George and John's background parts and everything in that. It's oh man, it was really cool. George's first take on "Love You Too," where he's just playing it with a guitar. Oh man, that's just so cool to hear. Um, Paperback Rider and Rain, like I said, not much. Dr. Robert, not a big thing. Or And Your Bird Can Sing. They were interesting to hear, but nothing really excited me that much. Um, Taxman. The only fun thing was when John and Paul were doing a background thing, something that was like, "Give me all your money. You got any money? Money?" That was kind of cool. I'm Only Sleeping. There's like 4 sessions of that, and pretty cool. The fragment section is pretty neat. Eleanor Rigby. I love when they're just playing for Paul the strings with the reverb and without the reverb, and then that conversation on whether one stands out or not, and then you get to take two with his just the string instruments, which absolutely just sound incredible. For No One's cool is cool too. It's fine. It's just a backing track, and Yellow Submarine. The the highlight of the outtake package is the Yellow Submarine. This changes my whole impression of the song. So it starts off with John's uh, process in writing the part of the song that he brought in for the band to hear, and he's just singing this song about in the town where I was born, no one cared, no one cared. It changed the whole meaning of the song for me on the verses. It almost turned into like the innocence of a strawberry fields, where John would escape to this orphanage and escape his life and just hang out and whatever. We all know the song. And Yellow Submarine kind of started out that way too. It's almost like no one really cares about me, and with his background with his mom getting hit by a car and his dad abandoning him and all that. It just changed the whole dynamic of the tune for me. And then, of course, Paul's whole thought process on doing a kid's song, Yellow Submarine. Um, then, so that's a standout for me. I Want to Tell You was fine, Here, There, and Everywhere, and she said. Nothing that I really want to discuss that much. One thing I wanted to say after hearing the takes, like especially in Yellow Submarine, it goes from John's version of the song, Paul, and then all of a sudden Ringo's singing the song, and Ringo owns the song. But I would like to see the commentary from the Beatles or somewhere along the line now where they finally went, John, you're not singing it. Ringo's going to sing it now. I would love to, when was the epiphany that they went, hey, Ringo needs to sing this song? Or did Paul always want Ringo to sing this as a child song because he associated Ringo because he's good with kids and stuff like that from what I've read? But the John part, did John intend to have that as his own, or was that always going to be, some sung by Ringo? I'd just like to know that. Yeah, so same with Love You Too. Do you think that was always going to be a sitar song? Did George was just playing the guitar with the thoughts always to bring the Indian influence into that? I'm not sure. I'd love to know that too. But overall, I'm loving the remix. Absolutely loving it, and I love the original mix. There's nothing wrong with loving both. I'm not. Like I said, I'm just going to leave it with you. Think about it as a different listen rather than a better or a worse listen. You might enjoy it more. I want to thank you all for hanging out. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. Please ring the bell if you want more notifications. Please press the like button, the dislike button, whatever button you feel like pressing. Most importantly, leave comments and let me know what you think. And thank you all very much. Everyone have a great day. Enjoy your Revolver sets, and take care.